Welcome to Between the Lens, a series where I look at and analyse films. We're looking at the framework of ideology. Ben Zeitlin's Beasts of the Southern Wild is prevalent in conveying its themes and underlying subject matter. Binary oppositions are a set of two ideologies that directly contrast one another. The binary opposition of nature versus civilization seemed prevalent and an ideology that permeated through the film. The main character, Hushpuppi, constantly mentions the way that civilization works and how the setting of the film, the bathtub, is an explicit opposition to the rest of the world. Other characters, such as Hushpuppi's father, Wink, tends to look at the modernized world as something to be hated, whereas Hushpuppi's outlook tends to look inward as she appreciates the bathtub. It lends itself to an almost fancy-like setting, whereas Wink looks across the levee, a literal and symbolic barrier that separates the bathtub from traditional society, towards a group of looming oil refineries. Sneering, he says, "Ain't that ugly? We got the prettiest place on earth." When looking at ideology, it's important to look at the production context of the film. The context of the film was a post-Hurricane Katrina America, where the socio-economic ramifications of the event were fresh in the mind of Louisiana citizens. Ben Zeitlin clearly wants to bring attention to an economic perspective, considering the subject matter of the film. Hushpuppi must travel through the bathtub after a hurricane destroys her home and community. The hurricane in the film is presented as an unstoppable force that drowns an entire community. Wink looks at it and shoots it with a gun, suggesting it's comparable to God for him, and that Wink, representative of the average citizen, is willing to defend themselves from it. On the part of Zeitlin, there is a frustration built up from the silence of the civilized world, which is continuing to cause these devastating hurricanes through climate change. What he's conveyed with this film is an ideology of community, that the human element we share with our neighbours is more important than contributing to a machine of society. Beast of the Southern Wild is a coming-of-age story for Hushpuppi, but it's also an ideological expression of a director who wants the world to do better than the damage Hurricane Katrina caused.